One of the reasons for making an appointment might be to do 3PV, also known as third-party verification. 3PV is a critical part of the process and must be done correctly. There's a 3PV button at the top of the interface, but it is only available to employees authorized to perform 3PV. Selecting the 3PV button will bring up the set of 3PV screens. Once you have selected a language, you can begin the 3PV. At this point, you must begin recording the conversation with the applicant. You must not turn off the recording until the entire conversation with the applicant has finished and you have hung up. Each law firm will have their own method of recording, so ask your manager or supervisor how you record telephone conversations on your computer. It is very important that the 3PV script must be read word for word. The applicant must answer clearly yes or no to each of the questions you ask them. You cannot answer any questions that the applicant may ask during the 3PV session. If the applicant does not understand the question, you may repeat the question one more time. If the applicant still does not understand the question or answers no, you will select no. You will then advise the applicant that they will be transferred back to the initial client intake representative. There can be no coaching or advising to the applicant during the 3PV session. You may only ask the questions as written in the screens and click the response that the applicant gives you. The screens are self-guided and will walk you through the script. Each screen requires a yes response from the applicant to complete the 3PV process. Read each screen exactly as it is written. We will now step through the screens so that you may see the questions and see how the 3PV process operates. Understand that your law firm may or may not perform the 3PV process. However, it is good to know how the process works. The script is now written on the screen and you will say it word for word. Each time your applicant answers yes, you will click yes. The next screen will appear, the next screen will appear, and so on as you go through the 3PV. Once you have started 3PV, which was 3 screens back, you should have started your recording. As soon as you ask the first question and the applicant answers yes or no, check the box that they answer. If the applicant answers no to a question, you will get the prompt. You may ask the question one more time, and if it is no, then you say okay, and you have no more ability to move on through the questions. You must go back, and it will take you completely out of the 3PV screens. The applicant should then talk to the client intake representative again, and should the applicant wish to continue with the process, 3PV can be started again by going back to the client intake screen and selecting the 3PV button again. Notice at the top right of the screen, each time 3PV is attempted, it will show either as completed and did I have a recording. I am not able to record on my training interface, so therefore I will not be able to get a yes over here. However, at one point it said that I did complete the 3PV recording. This was on a test. We will ignore it for the time being. We will select the 3PV button again, assuming that Gomez has talked to our representative again and is ready to go through 3PV. As I'm going through these questions quickly, it is not necessary for you to read them at this time. Just understand that each question must be asked and each question must be answered with a yes. At any time that they answer no, you will have to hit no. You will no longer be able to skip through the screens, and you will have to select the back button. 3PV is very important. It must be done exactly right. So for what it is worth, be sure you have done 3PV correctly if you are going to do 3PV for your law firm. At the end it says this will conclude the recording of our call and verification process. Thank you for your patience, and you will hit finish. At this point, a reminder pops up. Be sure to upload the recording. Select OK, and on this large blue bar right below the last screen, click here to upload the recorded call and verification. By clicking there, it will say upload file type, and you say upload. If you do not put the file type in, then you will not be able to upload the file. I am going to put in a bogus file, and then I can upload it. At the bottom, you'll notice it says recording uploaded. You are now done. You can close the screen. Points to remember on 3PV. You must read the script word for word. You must get a yes response from the applicant for every question to complete 3PV. You must start the recording as soon as you begin the 3PV session. You must not continue with 3PV if you get a no answer to any question. You must not respond to any questions from the applicant while completing 3PV. And you must not stop the recording until you finish and/or hang up the phone. Finally, after 3PV is finished, you want to go back to the main screen and you want to check that the very top line says 3PV has been completed, and you'll want a yes that the recording was saved.